Welcome to CBS Sports Sunday. Now here's Tim Ryan.
We're live in Reseda, California, ready for this 10-round lightweight bout. Roger Mayweather and Tony Baltazar, an important one indeed. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy here at ringside, and let's join our ring announcer, Bill Kaplan.
Good afternoon, fight fans. From beautiful Reseda, California in the San Fernando Valley, the great megalopolis of Los Angeles, the Olympic City. From Chuck Landis's Country Club, Knockout Promotions, Dr. David Young, Dr. Philip Young, and Bill Kaplan present Jungle Warfare. Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, weighing 136 pounds, from Grand Rapids, Michigan, by way of Las Vegas, Nevada, the former WBA junior lightweight champion of the world, Roger Mayweather. And in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim, fighting out of Southern California's La Puente, California, weighing in at 136 pounds, Tony the Tiger Baltazar. Your referee.
Well, as you can tell, the hometown crowd is for Tony Baltazar from nearby La Puente, California. You're seeing the referee, who will be Lou Morat, and we will show you the tail of the tape here with the height advantage, a slight one going to Roger Mayweather, as you can see. Although he is up from the 130-pound division, he is slightly taller than Tony Baltazar. They both weighed in at 136, 1 pound over the lightweight limit of 135. And so we are ready to go with round number one. Roger Mayweather and Tony Baltazar. Baltazar in the blue trunks with a record of 25-2-1. His only 2 defeats, a controversial decision loss to Howard Davis Jr. and a slam-bang knockout battle against Robin Blake, with Blake coming out on top. Mayweather is 17-1 with 11 knockouts. His only loss when he lost his crown to Rocky Lockridge, and that was in February of this year, a stunning first-round knockout by Lockridge. And Mayweather trying the lightweight division, feeling that he is more comfortable at this weight, and this is where the action is. When you think about the upset by Bramble over Mancini, Hector Camacho announcing that he's coming up to 135, Edwin Rosario, Howard Davis, this is where the action is in professional boxing today. Mayweather wants a piece of it, and Gil Clancy, Tony Baltazar knows that this is the biggest fight of his young life. He cannot afford a third loss on national television.
Well, that's right, Tim. He lost 2 tough fights, again, to Davis and to Blake. Very, very tough. If he loses a third fight, it's going to send him way back in his hot lightweight division.
Roger Mayweather said his loss to Lockridge was partially caused because he was cold coming into the ring. He did not warm up properly, wasn't really ready to go. And Rocky Lockridge caught him with a beautiful right hand, and it was all over early. He said this time he'll warm up, and he'll pace himself through the early going.
Well, Tim, you notice he's moved up to the lightweight division. He has a big frame, and he's got a lot of height. I think he's going to be much stronger than 135 pounds. Maybe the fact that he tried to bring himself down to 130 may have been a factor that when he got hit on the chin, he went.
Tony Baltazar expecting that Mayweather would be cautious early and perhaps a little slow starting. His plan was to come out and try and get Mayweather early like Lockridge did. So as you can see, Baltazar in his usual pressing style, trying to keep the pressure on Mayweather. But Mayweather moving extremely well. A little razzle-dazzle there and a right-hand lead, and Baltazar made him pay for it.
Oh, Baltazar didn't like that showboating at all, Tim.
This is Baltazar country here. He doesn't want Mayweather upstaging him in Reseda, California. The Country Club is a country and western and rock and roll emporium that has become the scene of some outstanding boxing cards, club boxing in the area over the past several months, and this is their first big fight, and they've got an enthusiastic crowd on hand. That's a slip there.
Mayweather's doing the proper thing, Tim. He's moving to his right. He's negating that left hook of Baltazar. That's the big punch we have to look for. But Mayweather's going side to side as he's doing now, trying to keep the puncher off balance. And again, Mayweather's not a bad puncher himself if he settles down.
We are live from Reseda, California. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy under 30 seconds to go in round one. Scheduled for 10 on CBS Sports Sunday. You just saw the thrilling playoff in the Western Open Golf Championship. Tom Watson defeating Greg Norman on the third extra hole. And now we are live with boxing action on CBS. Scoring in California on the 10-point system. A referee and 2 judges will do the scoring. 2 wild misses by Baltazar. Final seconds of round one. Round number 2, Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy live from Reseda, California in the San Fernando Valley. Roger Mayweather in the black trunks calls himself the Black Mamba, a deadly snake in southern Africa, and Tony the Tiger Baltazar, so they have equally ferocious nicknames. Suiting their styles, they're both real good punchers.
Tim, Baltazar right now is making the mistake that a lot of good punchers make. He's looking to land that one big shot. What he should be doing, in my opinion, is working behind the jab, punching to the body. You don't miss the body, and then he's going to be able to go up to the head.
Baltazar with Mayweather standing there on the ropes, giving Baltazar
Good exchange, Tim. Good left hook by Baltazar.
Inside. The best shot was that left hook by Baltazar. Baltazar fighting with a fury here. That brings the crowd alive. A wild miss by Baltazar, and he lost his balance on this somewhat slippery canvas.
He lost his balance with the help of Mayweather, Tim. Mayweather slid to the right and just threw him down. Very smooth boxer.
Round 2 scheduled for 10. Lightweights. Both came in at 136. Baltazar is considered moving up to 140. He's had a couple of fights over the lightweight 135.
Anytime Baltazar sets the punch, Mayweather just slides over to his right, Tim. Baltazar's got to set him up with a jab. Has to work to the body. Much easier to hit that body than hit a guy on the chin, especially with a lead left hook.
When they're at a distance, you can see the reach advantage that belongs to Mayweather. He does have a good effective jab. There it is right there.
Mayweather has great concentration, Tim. When he's looking at you, his eyes are as big as saucers.
Under a minute to go. Round number 2.
There's that jab of Baltazar's, and he has a good stiff jab.
But it's Mayweather is using his most effectively so far.
Yes, Tim, he's scoring the points.
A little quick switch for Mayweather, and of course he is desperate to overcome that minute-and-a-half loss of his crown to Rocky Lockridge, the only defeat in his young pro career. Only 17-1.
There was Baltazar trying to land that lead left hook. You don't land those punches against a good fighter. You have to set them up.
Under 30 seconds to go in the second round. Mayweather appearing to frustrate Baltazar a little bit here in the second round with a lot of movement and a solid left jab. Coming to the end of round number 2, a scheduled 10-round lightweight bout. Tony Baltazar and Roger Mayweather on CBS Sports Sunday. Round number 3, live from Reseda, California. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy watching Roger Mayweather and Tony Baltazar. Baltazar, the crowd favorite here in this town of Reseda in the San Fernando Valley. He's from nearby La Puente, and Mayweather from Las Vegas, Nevada, born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Both of them with brothers who are professional boxers, Frankie Baltazar and Floyd Mayweather. Baltazar started at the age of 3. His father, Frank's been in his corner for the past 20 years. A kid boxer and an amateur career that spanned more than 300 fights, including a 1977 National AAU crown. Mayweather fought in the amateurs in Michigan, turned pro in 1981. Won the title from Sammy Serrano, defended it twice, the WBA junior lightweight title at 130 pounds, and then lost it to Lockridge last February.
Then Mayweather's really using those legs side to side, moving around. But there's going to be a time in the fight, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have to slow down. Then it's going to become the moment of truth. They'll be banging away at each other after a while. But right now, Mayweather's style is just completely negating anything that Baltazar's trying to do.
Well, if he can keep this up for 10 rounds, it'll be great tribute to his conditioning and getting ready for this fight. And we'll certainly find out as it unfolds whether he can keep it up.
There went Baltazar reaching for the head again, Tim, where a good body shot would have landed.
More than halfway through round 3, scheduled for 10. Mayweather won the USBA lightweight title over Ruben Munoz and has fought a couple of other fights at 135 and certainly looks very comfortable carrying the weight. I would think that this is where he wants to stay despite the desire to win back his title from Lockridge at 130 pounds.
Tim, he's a big guy. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go up to 140.
Well, and that's it. He's just 23 years old. So is Tony Baltazar. Two young men with their futures ahead of them, but a little more pressure on Baltazar because he's lost twice on the national twos.
See, Tim, here's what happens to these big punches. They become hypnotized. They wait and wait and wait for that one punch, and meanwhile rounds go by, and they're in the bank for the other guy. He should be moving his hands. There he goes again with that big punch. If you can't hit a guy with a jab, you can't hit him with anything. Start out with a jab.
Down to the 20-second mark remaining in round 3. Baltazar in blue, Mayweather in black. Mayweather, with a lot of movement and a good jab, has been able to dominate Baltazar so far. Final seconds, round 3. Round number 4, live from Reseda, California on CBS Sports Sunday. Roger Mayweather in the black trunks, Tony Baltazar in blue. A lightweight battle. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy here bringing it to you ringside before a live and excited crowd of Tony Baltazar fans predominantly.
Tim, another thing they're going to have to work on Baltazar with in the gym is the fact that the ring is square. It's not round. You have to know how to cut off an opponent and move him into a corner. He's chasing Mayweather around instead of trying to cut the ring off. There he goes again. Mayweather's just going in a circle. There he goes again. Good right hand by Mayweather.
Referee is Lou Moret. He will figure in the scoring with two judges at ringside. Two good solid jabs scored by Mayweather. Movement is frustrating Baltazar. Mayweather's moving. He's always had it, but this is the best that I've seen him move. I mean, he seems to be in such control of his footwork.
Again, that time Baltazar tried to move him behind the jab. That's what's going to get him in here. And he does have a good stiff jab if he would use it. Instead of throwing 2 or 3 around, he could throw 30.
Well, even in watching him work out earlier this week, it was something that we noticed that he was not using it against his sparring partners in preparation for this bout the day we watched him. Round 4 scheduled for 10.
Tim, as you said, a guy like Baltazar can get frustrated in a fight like this. He may wind up coming out of the fight and losing a decision and feel like nothing happened to him. He didn't get hit any hard punches. And the first thing a fighter does when he gets back in the locker room after a fight like that, he'll say, "Get him for me again." I used to always tell my fighters, "You just had him."
Well, that's something that certainly could be the case for Tony Baltazar, and the bell has rung. The bell has rung early.
They made a mistake.
They just had a 2-minute round here, and nobody's picked up on it yet. Now there's some discussion, but they've had a 2-minute round by our clocks, and you could just get the feeling yet the fighters don't seem to feel that it was a 2-minute round. They're comfortably on their stools, and so far there's been no reaction from the timekeepers. So evidently we're going to have a 2-minute round in this fight. So far there's been no correction from the timekeeper, and that gentleman is Alex Garcia.
Does that mean that you paid less, Tim?
Well, I don't know. I suppose the promoter might raise that after the fact, but in all seriousness, when you've got a minute missing in a round, that could be the difference for one fight or another. If you're in a close fight, one fighter taking that last minute away, who knows? An unfortunate circumstance here. We're into round 5. Baltazar now roughhousing Mayweather, and that there's no question that it's a sign of his frustration. He's in front of his hometown crowd here.
You know, Tim, after that bell rang for the 2-minute round, the fighter must have said to himself, or both of them, "Boy, I'm in better shape than I thought I was. I'm not even tired."
Well, they both seemed to feel that they had fought the 3 minutes. There was no reaction from the fighters. They were happy to sit down after 2. We are into round 4 and a half, I guess, at this point. But it is officially round 5 with an error by the timekeepers here at ringside. Now a mouthpiece comes out.
That's a California rule, Tim. They have to stop the fight and put the mouthpiece back in.
Baltazar losing the mouthpiece. So the clock is stopped here, and if the timekeeper had trouble in the last round, this may give him some more in this one. Because the clock is stopped when a fighter replaces his mouthpiece. Baltazar trying to corner Mayweather and unsuccessful so far.
Reaching for the head. When he has Mayweather against the ropes, the first punch would be a solid punch to the body. The body doesn't move.
Now the referee, as the fouling starting to become a little more prevalent here with Mayweather and Baltazar. Baltazar was pushing off out of the last clinch, and the referee, Lou Moret, brought them together and said, come on, guys, let's keep this a good, clean fight. But Tony Baltazar is clearly a frustrated young man. The crowd cheering, chanting, Tony, 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 trying to get him fired up. He did land a left that time to the face of Mayweather.
Well, Mayweather's mouth is starting to open, Tim. Maybe it's a sign that he's getting a little tired.
He's established a furious pace for himself. It seems to me he hasn't needed quite as much movement. He could be pacing himself a little bit more, but he has been going like this since the opening bell.
Tim, this is a 17-foot ring. 3 steps by Mayweather, and he's right across the ring.
And there now Mayweather roughhousing, and when they broke, he did not let the punch go. As Baltazar dropped his hands, Mayweather could have belted him there. So boxing here has been thrown to the winds as these two young men are letting their tempers get the best of them here in round 5.
That will be Baltazar's best chance if Mayweather loses his temper.
Baltazar landed a combination there, and Mayweather ties him up immediately, and Mayweather definitely breathing a little more heavily. About 30 seconds left in this 5th round, a little less than that now. See if the timekeeper has sorted out the stoppage for Baltazar's mouthpiece coming out. Mayweather just fell back into the ring pads, coming to the end of round number 5. With a frustrated Tony Baltazar having problems against Mayweather. There's the bell. Round number 6, Roger Mayweather in black, Tony Baltazar in blue. A scheduled 10-round lightweight bout. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy live from Reseda, California in the San Fernando Valley. The referee is Lou Moret. The judges are Marty Denkin and Eddie Fierro, all from the Los Angeles area. And all three will figure in the 10-point must system scoring.
Then with the judging in this fight, you might get a big difference in the scorecards of the 3 officials because the fighters, their styles are so opposite. Mayweather's doing the moving, the running, and Baltazar is continually stalking. He's the aggressor. Some judges like fighters that are the aggressor, whether they land punches or not, and some judges give guys credit for moving around.
Mayweather cut Baltazar off balance, landed a combination to the face. Baltazar comes back at him, it misses with a right.
It seems that the only time Mayweather wants to throw a hard punch to him is when he's sure that Baltazar is completely off balance. He doesn't want to gamble at all in this fight.
Well, but I have him ahead on my card, and I certainly appreciate your analysis of how the scoring could go, and that's something that both boxers and their handlers should think about. Now, Mayweather says he took a low blow and is asking for a little respite. The referee, Lou Moret, says you got to keep fighting. Mayweather just can't take a rest because he thinks he got hit low.
Tim, he got hit a jab, and he does have a cup on. I don't think... That was a pretty good John Barrymore job as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it looks like he was going to come over and try and get a little rest in his corner. And that may be another indication that the pace he set is starting to get to him.
You know, Tim, his cup may not fit properly because that wasn't a very hard punch. But again, if the cup would shift, he could have been injured. He's still bothering him.
We're in the 6th round, scheduled for 10. In an odd kind of a fight. Mayweather working from the outside, jabbing effectively, a lot of movement. A frustrated Tony Baltazar unable to close the gap enough to land any punches, and when he gets in close, as Gil Clancy's pointed out, he's been going for the head, not the body. He's just standing there and trying to lure Mayweather in, and Mayweather says, fine, I'll just keep throwing the jab at you.
Well, this is a new strategy on Baltazar's part. He wants Mayweather to punch. But Mayweather's like an octopus, though. Can he tie you up?
Under a minute to go in round number 6. Roger Mayweather, the former WBA junior lightweight champion at 130 pounds, weighing 136 today as he's moved up into the lightweight ranks, probably for good.
Baltazar has to forget about that head for a while, Tim. Matter of fact, if I was in Baltazar's corner, I'd tell him to stand in the center of the ring and make the guy come to him. If he doesn't make the fight, there isn't any fight.
Under 30 seconds to go. Mayweather looking at his corner for approval or instruction. Billy Baxter, his manager, he's been effectively training himself. Jesse Reed, his former trainer, no longer in the picture with him. Final seconds of round number 6. Not a scintillating fight. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy. Let's go back, Gil, and see the low blow in question from round 5.
All right, here's Baltazar moving on. There it was, Tim. It was a jab, and it was right on the center of the cuff. That should not have bothered Mayweather that much. They do have a good protective cuff. It wasn't a punch that ripped up or anything else.
Well, and Mayweather immediately wanted a little rest, and the referee didn't get it, and appears on the worse for wear. Baltazar looks very relaxed in his corner, and he may feel that he's being aggressive and that the judges are with him. We'll find that out if the fight goes the distance.
Well,
round number 7.
I certainly wouldn't feel that way if I was in Tony's corner, Tim. But again, Mayweather takes 3 skips, and he's right across the ring. He's got those long legs, and he can move them.
We're live from Reseda, California. Hoping you enjoyed the golf coverage on CBS today. An exciting playoff victory by Tom Watson in the Western Open over Greg Norman. And an important lightweight battle here that has not really developed into much of a contest because of the 2 styles, of the frustration of Baltazar, his unwillingness to work to the body, and the unwillingness of Mayweather to stay anywhere where there can be an exchange of blows. There's a good right hand by Mayweather.
They have to teach Baltazar how to cut a ring off, Tim. Mayweather can go in and out of those corners as he feels like a revolving door.
Doing it now.
And boy, can he tie you up.
Baltazar roughing him up inside, but still trying to punch to the head even from that position. The easiest place, obviously, is a bang to the body if you get your arms free.
And Mayweather grabbed the ropes and threw a punch. That's a foul. He's not ashamed to tie you up, Tim, I'll tell you that.
Sure not. Baltazar tried to get close that time. Again, was wrapped up by Mayweather. Well, some fights are hard to figure. This one would appear to have been an outstanding matchup, but it just hasn't developed. There's Mayweather standing for the first time flat-footed.
Because Baltazar, Tim, started to move back as if in frustration to say, okay, you throw the punches. I'm just going to get one good one in. And he just may. You notice he's not stalking Mayweather as quickly as he has been. Now he's back to that stalking again.
Under a minute to go in round number 7. No love lost between these two at the moment. His tactics have been rough and dirty.
The problem is he lunges in with punches to the head. It's so obvious. Can't reach him.
Less than 30 seconds left. Round 7.
You know, Tim, if this was a 20-foot ring instead of a 17-foot ring, maybe after the fight they'd have to introduce themselves to each other, because I don't think they'd touch each other.
Well, it has been effective, at least on my scorecard for Mayweather, but it is not made for great boxing theater. Coming to the end of round number 7. Whether the judges share my viewpoint, we'll find out 2 or 3 more rounds. Round number 8. Tony the Tiger Baltazar, very relaxed between rounds, almost giving the impression he thinks he's comfortably ahead, and who knows, maybe he is. That depends on the view of the judges and the referees.
Tim, when he moves in, Baltazar, he's stalking his opponent, but he doesn't move his head from side to side. He doesn't change his height. That's why it's even more difficult for him to get inside with Mayweather. He has to make Mayweather miss a punch and count him. And you don't do that by keeping your head straight. You've got to move it from side to side.
This is round 8, scheduled for 10. Baltazar, good combination off the initial effort from Mayweather.
He does much better when he forces Mayweather to come to him. Mayweather has such a long reach. I think he could sit down in his corner and jab Baltazar while he's sitting in the other corner.
Listed at 75 inches, and he's used it very effectively in this fight. Certainly kept himself out of danger, and one wonders if he's still very mindful of that right hand of Rocky Lockridge's that took away his crown in February. He has not given Baltazar a chance for a punch like that. There's a solid straight right by Mayweather, and then Mayweather spins Baltazar around, scored an uppercut. Baltazar trying, as he has throughout, to close the gap, but just unable to make any consistent attack on Mayweather.
Well, Tim, since the Lockridge knockout, this is not the Roger Mayweather that I have seen before. He was a very aggressive fighter, good puncher. Now he's just boxing and, again, in our opinion, outpointing Tony Baltazar. But there are no solid punches. He just won't settle down to throw a punch. Won't take a chance.
This is his first fight since the February loss to Lockridge. Baltazar fought in May, a second-round knockout of Lupe Rojas after his defeat at the hands of Robin Blake in a long layoff to have a cut heel.
So my thought as a lightweight that Mayweather would be a lot more effective a puncher, settle down a little bit, but he's fighting like a featherweight instead of even a junior lightweight. And boy, can he grab.
Baltazar just pouring in there, though, as you have commented throughout the bout, not throwing punches as he's going in, just trying to stick his head in there, take a wild swing at the head of Mayweather, and it's just not working. Mayweather ties him up, and it just frustrates him more. Coming to the end of round number 8. This is scheduled for 10. Round number 9, scheduled for 10. Tim Ryan with Joe Clancy watching Roger Mayweather in black and Tony Baltazar in blue. And somewhat disappointing, to say the least. Lightweight battle that shaped up as a much more intriguing contest than it's turned out to be. Again, the judging could turn out quite differently from what one might expect. Somebody looking in at home, if they shared our view, would have Mayweather comfortably ahead, although we have given Baltazar the last couple of rounds
On effort.
on effort alone.
Tim, the referee went over between rounds and warned Mayweather for holding. That could be a significant factor. If he's taking points away, or in his mind, because he is one of the scoring officials, he may be penalizing Mayweather for holding.
Both of these fighters looking to make an impact in the already busy and talented lightweight division. And I'm not sure that either one of them is making a great impression on any of those lightweights that are probably looking in. The likes of the champions Rosario and Bramble, the people like Mancini and Camacho, Kenny Wagner, and others.
Right now, Tim, this looks like the beauty contest that nobody's going to win. I don't think anybody's going to come out with flying colors.
Midway through the 9th round.
Very little difference between the 9th and the 1st. Every round is the same. Baltazar stalking Mayweather, except Mayweather is not moving quite as much now, Tim, but he doesn't have to.
Right hand scored by Baltazar. That got Mayweather's attention.
Just missed with the left hook, Tim. You think that Baltazar would try something different, Tim, like maybe throw a right hand to the body, hook off it. He has to do something to open up Mayweather. But he keeps doing the same thing time after time.
That's a hit song these days. Under 30 seconds to go, time after time. And it has been that story throughout this 9 rounds. Lightweight boxing. Tony Baltazar in blue, Roger Mayweather in black. Final seconds of the 9th round. And there again some rough stuff at the bell between these two fighters. No love lost between them, and the continued frustration of Tony Baltazar. Well, at this point, we'd like to apologize for the fact that because of the length of the golf earlier, we are not able to bring you John Madden's journey today. And also our planned coverage of the Tour de France has been postponed, but we want to keep you up to date as we will continue to follow it over the next couple of weeks. And there is a surprise leader. Vincent Barteau of France, making his first appearance in the Tour de France. After 10 stages, is the leader. And you can see there are 2 more Frenchmen behind him. And the American Greg LeMond is still in the picture. He is in 10th place, but just 15 minutes behind after the 10 stages, and with 2 more weeks of the Tour still remaining. In 58th place, Jonathan Boyer, a more veteran American, is 20 minutes back, as you can see. So that's the story in the Tour de France. And speaking of people behind, as we see it, Tony Baltazar is behind. If he gets through this round, the judges will let us know if they have viewed it the same way. This is the 10th and final round, and Mayweather with Baltazar in his corner, doing some glaring and talking and punching, and looking to be a little more flat-footed, and some more showboating by Mayweather.
Mayweather is fighting this round, Tim.
Certainly standing there flat-footed, willing to go, and Baltazar lands a left hook.
Well, you remember what happened to Howard Davis a couple of weeks ago, down to the last 10 seconds of the fight. Looked like he was comfortably a winner. One left hook changed it all.
Not over till it's over.
Okay, Yogi.
I wonder whether Tony really has a feeling for that about where he stands. There's a short right-hand lead by Mayweather scoring.
Somebody
must trying to break them.
Somebody must have told Tony that it's illegal to punch to the body, Tim.
Well, and yet when we go back to that great effort against Howard Davis Jr., he punched to the body and to the head.
He keeps missing these head punches.
In the final round, Mayweather and Baltazar. More boxing action next week on CBS Sports Sunday. We'll be telling you about the conclusion of the fight. A good flurry on the ropes here, but again, Baltazar goes head down and not really on target, just leaning on Mayweather.
Got hit with a good left hook too, Tim. There he keeps throwing punches over that tall guy's head. Another one.
Under a minute to go in the fight. The hometown favorite from La Puente, Tony Baltazar, fighting in frustration throughout. Finally has Mayweather in one place after Mayweather had effectively circled the ring through 7 or 8 rounds. And Baltazar now appearing tired and arm-weary. It's been a wrestling match for those moments when they have been close enough together. And Mayweather doing most of the holding. Baltazar got in a right hand. Under 30 seconds to go. And Mayweather punches Baltazar in the corner. Toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring. Mayweather, if he thought he was ahead, at least willing to risk it a little here in the final round, Joe.
He's landed most of the effective punches this round, Tim. Hardest punches of the fight.
Coming to the end of the fight.
And the crowd may not agree with our opinion, Tim, about who's the winner.
I'm sure not. We'll find out what the judges think as the crowd comes to its feet, cheering for Tony Baltazar and his good 10th round effort. But whether the judges are seeing it that way, we'll find out. Well, as we mentioned, We have more boxing action next week on CBS Sports Sunday, and we're going to tell you more about it in the other events you'll be seeing next week here on CBS. We are back in Reseda, California, and ready for our decision. Here's ring announcer Bill Kaplan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. I will read the card. Referee Lou Moret scores the fight 98-95. Eddie Fierro 96-95. Marty Denkin 96-94, all in favor of the winner, the Tiger, Tony Baltazar.
You can see the crowd here deliriously happy. Unanimous decision for Tony Baltazar. Tony, I gotta tell you, we are surprised at this decision. Are you?
No, not at all. He threw a lot of jabs and he kept away. He didn't want to fight. If he would have stayed and then fought a little bit, maybe he would have wanted to fight. But I kept the pressure. I landed the harder shot. Well, and he just threw jabs.
Our feeling was that, yes, you did keep the pressure, and yes, you were the aggressor, but that he was the man who landed most of the punches, and we frankly thought on our scorecard he was the winner.
Well, most of his punches landed on my glove. He threw a lot of jabs, a couple of right hands, and I blocked most of the right hands. He just didn't want to fight. That was his problem this fight today.
Well, I know it's a big win for you, Tony. Good luck again in the rest of the lightweight ranks for you as you move your way back up.
Hi to everybody.
Okay, well, Tony, we're just about out of time. I'll have to have a word with Roger. Thank you. Roger, how do you feel about this decision?
Well, I think everybody who around the world who's seen the fight know that I won the fight going away. There was no question this man, if you can see his punch was missing a mile away. I was countering, hitting with combination at the end. I won the last 2 rounds decisively.
Roger, we had you ahead on our scorecards, but we were also thoughtful of the fact that maybe the aggressor would win the fight, and he did. But better luck next time to you. We got to rush off the air here. Tim Ryan saying good night from Reseda.